Hey friends, this is one of the most amazing programs I've ever seen. If you're a parent and you want your child to graduate with less debt and free government money, stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Marco from Making Better Sense. I'm a licensed agent with World Financial Group here in the province of Ontario, and helping families and personal finances are two of my biggest passions in life. So let's talk about dreams. Not my dream, not your dream. Let's talk about our children's dreams and how we can help them achieve a debt-free education in a world of rising costs, and that's important. So we're going to talk about the Registered Education Savings Plan, or RESP for short, because that's a mouthful. What an RESP is, it's a tax-sheltered savings account that's created to help you save money for your child's education. The government will match your contributions throughout and help you grow your money. So growth, government grants, all for your child's education. Now the RESP grows tax-free. You don't pay tax on the investment growth while it's in the account. When your child is ready to go to school, they can withdraw the funds, and then only the growth and the grants are taxed, but in your child's name, not your name. That means most students don't have a huge income because they're going to school, and they're usually taxed at a really, really, really low rate. So this is a great way of eliminating paying taxes on some of that as well. So RESPs aren't just for university, and I think that's important because while every parent wants their child to go to university, have the best chance for an education as possible, sometimes you don't want to go to university. I didn't, right? So you can use it for college, you can use it for trade schools, apprenticeships. It can cover your tuition, it can cover books, it can cover housing, equipment for your tools, whatnot. My nephew just finished his HVAC, his gas license, and he bought a whole ton of equipment with the money he had left over from his RESP, and he's set up to tackle his first job. So the way it works is that you can contribute into a fund $2,500 per year. The government will add 20%, that's $500 annually to your investment. So it's a combination of your contributions and government matched funds. Lower income families can probably get more. You can get an additional $2,000 without paying a cent through the Canadian Learning Bond. So if you want to look up Canadian Learning Bond, or CLB for short, that'll get you the information. So let's kind of review here. You contribute $2,500. Government contributes $500 per year. That's a total of $3,000 per year that your child will get towards their education. Now, to max it out at $2,500, I'm a person that likes to break things down. So if you'd like to get to that $2,500, you can take it from your income tax. You can take it from a variety of places if you have that extra money. But if you're like me and you need to budget your money, $2,500 means if you get paid every 2 weeks, that's 26 pay cycles in a year. That's $96 per pay cycle times 26. If you get paid twice a month, that's $105 twice a month. And if you guys are folks that enjoy doing everything once a month and that's it, keep it nice and clean, that's $209 every month to get you to maximize that $500 grant contribution that the government gives you. So you're going to get to that $2,500 no matter which package you're going to pick. 96 biweekly, 105 twice a month, or 209 monthly. Now let's do some more math here. The government will give you a maximum of $7,200 lifetime for grant money. So how long does it take to max that out? 14 and a half years if you do $2,500 every year. So if you start contributing when your child is first born, by the time they're 14 and a half, you will have the maximum amount that the government's going to give you. You can let the money sit there and grow. So that means by the time you max it out, 14 and a half years, you will have contributed $36,250. The government will max out your grant portion at $7,200. That means in the fund, you're going to have $43,450 available for your child's education. A common question I get at this point is, how does an RESP affect my OSAP? I want my child to apply for an OSAP loan. I want my child to apply for OSAP grants. That's a great question. So RESPs and OSAP work together. OSAP is going to look at your RSP grants and growth, but they don't look at your original contributions, so only the grants and growth portion of it. It expects that you're going to use your RESP funds first, and then they'll add grants and loans on top of it afterwards to cover whatever you have left. So they use it as a top-up in order to make sure that you're covered. So don't be afraid that you're not going to get OSAP. Chances are you will get OSAP, and they will work together. So let's get a practical scenario happening here. Not everyone's going to be able to put the maximum $2,500, although I would encourage you to make every effort to do that. But let's paint a scenario with my good friends, Jack and Mary Linguini. They just had a baby boy, Michael Linguini, and they can't afford the full $96 every 2 weeks. So what they've opted to do is they've opted to contribute $50 every 2 weeks. So at the end of the year, that's $1,300. So we're not getting to the max, obviously. So 20% of that is $260. That means the combined contributions between their personal contributions and the government grant is $1,560. When Michael becomes 18, he's going to have $23,400 of their personal contributions, along with $4,680 in grant portion. Let's math it together. That's $28,400 of raw money. And I say raw money because we haven't taken into consideration how compound interest works with an RESP. So an RESP is just a fancy name like an account, like a TFSA or an RRSP that's registered to the government. And you can apply it into a GIC, a GIA, a mutual fund, a segregated fund, and it will earn you interest and it will earn a return. Now, I'm a big fan of mutual funds and segregated funds. So let's say you invest into a segregated fund or a mutual fund with a risk rating of medium. So you're not going to have a huge aggressive return, but neither is it going to be a 4% GIA or GIC. So if Jack and Mary contribute $50 every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, at a modest 7% rate of return, over the course of 18 years, what they're going to have based on compound interest is $56,000. That's just on $50 every 2 weeks. $56,000. I'm going to let that sit in for a minute. This is powerful because the power of compound interest over time means that your investments grow without you lifting a finger. It's passive income. It's wonderful, and it's going to grow. In contrast to the $23,400 that Jack and Mary originally invested, they've more than doubled their money. This is powerful. They contributed every week, so they took advantage of dollar cost averaging, and over time, it grew. That's how compound interest works. It's the rule of 72. I'm going to have videos on the rule of 72 as well as dollar cost averaging in the future. So please stay tuned on that. But I do want to make sure that I'm hitting this home. $23,400 contributed personal money versus $56,000 after compound interest is done by the time Michael turns 18. Now, obviously, this is a scenario for one child. RESPs come in two flavors, individual and family RSP. With a family RESP, you can put as many children as you want on the plan of your children. And you can contribute $2,500 per child per year, and the government will give you the $500 grant per child per year. When you set up that pooled family RESP, any of the children can use it. It doesn't matter if one doesn't want to go to school and the others do. That's perfect. It works out great. But it also means that when you pool the money together, you combine the growth, it grows exponentially at that point. More money will grow exponentially. It's a path to success. So just to recap, you're going to be able to contribute $2,500 per child per year. You're going to get $500 back. You're going to let your investments grow over time. You're going to leverage both an RESP and an OSAP strategy, and you're going to use that OSAP to top you up. Now, a couple of pitfalls I want to make sure everyone's aware of. Number one, don't delay starting. Time is your best friend, especially when we look at that compound interest. Time versus interest versus investment, that's the key to success right there. Don't contribute too little. Make it worth your while. You want to strive and get that $2,500 every year to maximize what the government gives you. That's free money. That's grant money. You don't have to pay that back. Lastly, make sure that the institution your child picks is accredited, meaning that it's one of the approved institutions. I have personal experience with that. I'm going to provide a link below to the Canada.ca website that covers all of the information RESP. Please feel free to take a look, as well as another link that shows all the accredited institutions. Pick your province, and you can go from there. This is really, really, really important to me because I personally did have a mountain of student debt when I finished. Education is one of the best gifts we can give our children, and the RESP coupled with OSAP can make that affordable without a mountain of lifelong debt. So I really hope you guys found this video helpful and interesting. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have a question. Please reach out also to your own financial advisor. Ask them questions about an RESP. Figure out what your personal plan to success is going to be. Hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget about also clicking the notification button. I don't post as frequent as I should, so it'd be great to know when my new videos come out. So I'm Marco. Together, let's make better sense.